Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Afrikaans ebook before it's gone. Learning to carry a conversation is vital to mastery of any language. Even beginners can quickly learn conversational language well enough to carry on real conversations with native speakers. Of course, beginners won't be able to carry a conversation the same way they could in their native language. But just knowing a few tips, like which questions to ask to keep a conversation going, are all you need to speak and interact with real native speakers. Before we get to specific suggestions, let's first take a closer look at how having real conversations in your target language is so vital to your mastery of the language. Communicating with other people is the very point of language, and conversation comes easily in our native tongue. For beginners, or anyone learning a new language, conversations aren't easy at all, and even simple greetings can be intimidating and awkward. Nothing kills a conversation faster than long periods of awkward silence, so you need practice and specific strategies to avoid them. When you know what to say to keep a conversation going, communication becomes much easier, and you make a better impression on your listener. Nothing will help you learn to speak a language faster and truly master the language than having real conversations with native speakers. Conversations quickly expose you to slang, cultural expressions, and vocabulary that force you to absorb and assimilate information faster than any educational setting. And that's a great thing. But how can you possibly have real conversations with real people if you're just starting out? Here are 3 proven methods that even beginners can quickly use to learn conversational language to make a great impression and avoid awkward silences. First, ask questions to keep a conversation going. For beginners and even more advanced speakers, the key is to ask questions to keep a conversation going. Of course, they can't be just random questions, or else you may confuse the listener. But by memorizing a few key questions and the appropriate time to use them, you can easily carry a conversation with minimal vocabulary or experience. And remember, the more conversations you have, the quicker you will learn and master the language. Second, learn core vocabulary terms as quickly as possible. You don't need to memorize thousands of words to learn conversational language. In fact, with just a couple hundred words, you could have a very basic conversation. And by learning maybe 1,000 to 2,000 words, you could carry a conversation with a native speaker about current events, order in restaurants, and even get directions. To help you get started with this, check out our 2,000 common words, also known as our core list. These 2,000 words are all you need to learn to speak fluently and carry a conversation with a native speaker. Third, study video or audio lessons that you can play and replay again and again. If you want to know how to carry on a conversation, then you need exposure to native speakers, and the more, the better. Studying video or audio lessons is ideal because they provide contextualized learning in your native language, and you can play them again and again until you achieve mastery. Our instructors have created more than 2,500 video and audio lessons that you can play over and over. And the best part is, they don't just teach you vocabulary and grammar. They are designed to help you learn to speak and teach you practical everyday topics like shopping, ordering, and more. Although it may seem intimidating for a beginner, the truth is that it's very easy to learn conversational language. Just learn a few core vocabulary terms and which questions to ask to keep a conversation going. Our language learning program has the world's largest online collection of video and audio lessons by real instructors, plus tons of advanced tools to help you learn to speak and carry on a conversation quickly. Just a little practice and exposure to real conversations or lessons is all it really takes. So, if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hello, I'm back. It's me, Christine, and today's lesson, the 10 hardest words to pronounce in Afrikaans. So it's going to be a difficult one, and remember to get those mouth muscles moving because we're going to be using them quite a bit in this lesson today.
Goeie,
Goeie. Good. Dit is goeie nuus. That is good news. This one's hard to say because it's got the sound that's so popular in Afrikaans language. Just pretend that you're really angry or irritated at something and you're going, ugh, and then keep that sound and go, goeie, goeie. And it's a goeie thing to learn it because it's used all the time. Nuus. Nuus. News. Ek het baie goeie nuus. I have very good news. I hope you have very goeie nuus to tell me because if you do, it means you've learned the ch and the nuus, which is what makes that word a bit harder than others. So this one is u. You're making this weird shape with your mouth. U. Goeie nuus. Gebruik. Gebruik. Use. Kan ek jou kar gebruik? Can I use your car? This one's a little bit as awkward as that question because you don't really want to give someone else your car just in case something happens, but you do because you're a nice person and they're your friend. So this is that word. You really want to learn it because it's the word for using any word. So the word is gebruik, the ch sound as before, and now we've added a new sound, ui. Ui. Gebruik. Rak. Rak. Shelf. Die rak is vol stof. The shelf is full of dust. This word it doesn't have the ch that we've been talking about, but now we've got a new sound in Afrikaans that a lot of people in different languages struggle with a little bit, and it's the rrr, as if your tongue is jumping up and down in your mouth. Rrr, rak. Môre. Môre. Morning. Ek gaan môre kom kuier. I'm going to come visit tomorrow. This one has a r like before. It's a little bit easier, but you have to remember to read môre, because in English it's spelled like more. So don't say more, say môre. And the older generations of Afrikaans people, they might say it a little bit differently, and they sometimes say môre, but it's more commonly used as môre. Lekker. Lekker. Nice. Delicious. Die kos is baie lekker. This food is very nice. This word is a must. You must learn how to say this word. Lekker. Lekker. Because it is used all the time in South Africa. Everything is lekker. Not just the kos that we were just talking about. The weather is lekker. The party was lekker. The drink is lekker. My friends are lekker. It's just a word that we use all the time. So it's definitely lekker to know the word lekker. Rol. Rol. Roll. Die pen het gerol. The pen rolled. This one is funny because roll, all you have to do is roll your tongue on your mouth, so it makes the r sound like before. Roll. It's quite nice to say, actually, if you say it a couple of times in a row. Roll. Gek. Gek. Crazy. Die man is gek om te spring. The man is crazy to jump. You're saying that because you're watching some bungee jumping show or someone jumping out of an airplane. They are gek. And gek is also a bit of a gek word to know because it's got the ch sound and the ek, which means me. So it's like you're saying you are gek, but you're not really. But it's a gek word. It's a gek lekker word. Crazy nice word. Lach. Lach. Laugh. Ek lag elke dag vir my hond. I laugh at my dog every day. Lach is such a lekker word. To laugh is it's the greatest thing ever. So it's important to learn this word because maybe learning how to say it will make you laugh and then you'll have a happy memory and remember the word and it's a win-win situation. Raas. Raas. Noise. Die bure raas baie. The neighbors are very noisy. just like me sitting here in the park today where there's a lot of people around me having picnics and everything, and there's quite a lot of noise going on, but at least the ras isn't too much for me to make this lovely video and teach you some Afrikaans. So ras. So we've made it to the end of the 10 hardest words to pronounce in Afrikaans. If you haven't managed them, that's okay. They're very hard, and like I said, they're the 10 hardest. So keep on trying, keep using that mouth and say all those things, say it weirdly in the mirror. Look at your mouth when you're saying them, and that sometimes helps because it helps your muscle memory to remember how to do them. And if you know any other words that you found that are hard to pronounce, put them in the comments below. Like these videos, please subscribe, and just keep learning Afrikaans with afrikaanspod101.com.
'n Vrou pas 'n rok aan en praat met die winkelassistent. Watter rok gaan sy koop?
Dit lyk pragtig aan u en pas perfek.
Ja, dit pas, maar ek dra gewoonlik sagte klere. Ek is nie gewoond aan die tipe patroon nie.
Wel, ek dink u lyk fantasties.
Regtig? Nog steeds. Dit gaan baie moed vat vir my om dit te dra.
Wat van die rok dan? Die patroon is baie sagter. U sal nie so flashy voel nie.
Jy is reg. Laat ek dit probeer.
Pas dit aan. Wat dink mevrou?
Hierdie een pas my baie beter as die vorige een. Het julle ook 'n langmou weergawe van hierdie ontwerp?
Ja, ons het.
Dankie, ek sal dit koop. Watter rok gaan sy koop? 'n Vrou pas 'n rok aan en praat met die winkelassistent. Watter rok gaan sy koop?
Dit lyk pragtig aan u en pas perfek.
Ja, dit pas, maar ek dra gewoonlik sagte klere. Ek is nie gewoond aan die tipe patroon nie.
Wel, ek dink u lyk fantasties.
Regtig? Nog steeds. Dit gaan baie moed vat vir my om dit te dra.
Wat van die rok dan? Die patroon is baie sagter. U sal nie so flashy voel nie.
Jy is reg. Laat ek dit probeer.
Pas dit aan. Wat dink mevrou?
Hierdie een pas my baie beter as die vorige een. Het julle ook 'n langmou weergawe van hierdie ontwerp?
Ja, ons het.
Dankie, ek sal dit koop. 'n Man en sy vrou kyk na grondplanne. Watter woonstel gaan hulle na kyk? Wat van die een? Dit het 'n pragtige groot leefkamer.
Ek hou van 'n groot leefkamer, maar ek wil graag 'n parkeerplek ook hê.
Kom ons kyk. Wat van hierdie een?
Ja, dis pragtig. Sal ons na die een gaan kyk?
Wag 'n oomblik. Is die kas nie 'n bietjie te klein nie?
Goeie punt. Dit lyk nie of daar 'n perfekte een is nie. Wag, wat van hierdie een?
Dit het alles wat ons nodig het, nie waar nie? En die kas is taamlik groot. Kom ons gaan kyk na die een.
OK,
Watter woonstel gaan hulle na kyk? 'n Man en sy vrou kyk na grondplanne. Watter woonstel gaan hulle na kyk? Wat van die een? Dit het 'n pragtige groot leefkamer.
Ek hou van 'n groot leefkamer, maar ek wil graag 'n parkeerplek ook hê.
Kom ons kyk. Wat van hierdie een?
Ja, dis pragtig. Sal ons na die een gaan kyk?
Wag 'n oomblik. Is die kas nie 'n bietjie te klein nie?
Goeie punt. Dit lyk nie of daar 'n perfekte een is nie. Wag, wat van hierdie een?
Dit het alles wat ons nodig het, nie waar nie? En die kas is taamlik groot. Kom ons gaan kyk na die een.
OK,
Hello, it's me again, Christine. We're here today in the lesson, the top 25 Afrikaans phrases. So they're obviously the ones that you definitely want to know if you want to know Afrikaans. They're super simple, most of them, and easy to learn, the ones that everyone always learns these words in all the different languages. So let's get started. Hello. 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 It's pretty straightforward. It's a greeting. It's what you say to everyone. It sounds the same as most languages, so it's pretty an easy one to remember.
Goeiemôre. Goeiemôre. Good morning.
Goeiemôre. Good morning. So this one's a little bit hard because it's got the ch sound, but in the morning we're all feeling ugh anyway, so it's a great time to use this. Practice it next time you wake up in the morning and say hello to whoever you see the first thing in the morning and just say goeiemôre.
Goeiemiddag. Goeiemiddag. Good afternoon.
Goeiemiddag. Good afternoon. So it's very similar to goeiemôre. This time you're changing the second word to middag, adding an extra in there because now by middag time the day's hard and all you want is some lunch. So you're adding mochs in there and just saying goeiemiddag as if it's angry, but try to say it with a smile and then it's even nicer. Goeiemiddag.
Goeienacht. Goeienacht. Good night.
Goeienacht. Good night. So that's what you say before you go to bed, obviously. And by now, you're thinking of the dreams that you might have tonight or the comfy warm bed that you're going to in a cold winter's day. Not like today, obviously, but it's something that everyone wants to hear. It's nice to say it to the people around you before going to bed, like end your day on a nice, calm note by telling everyone around you, goeienacht.
Wat is jou naam? Wat is jou naam? What is your name?
Wat is jou naam? What's your name? So this is obviously the one that you want to know when you're going out in a new place, especially in South Africa or anywhere where you know there's Afrikaans people and you want to know who they are, know more about them. So it's always an easy icebreaker. Wat is jou naam? Get to know their name. Try think of a way that you'll remember it by making up little anagrams in your head or whatever. It's what I usually do because I'm very bad at remembering names. But definitely a useful phrase to know.
Ek is Christine. Ek is Christine. I'm Christine.
And then if they ask you that question or if you've just asked that question, the likely response is Ek is naam. I am name. So you'd insert your name. Obviously, you wouldn't say Ek is naam. I would say Ek is Christine. I am Christine. So pretty simple response. Wat is jou naam? Ek is, and then say your name. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Aangename kennis. Aangename kennis. Nice to meet you.
Aangename kennis. Aangename kennis. Nice to meet you. So now you've said hello, you've said goeiemôre, goeiemiddag, goeienacht, whatever time of day it is. You've asked them what their name is, you've told them what your name is, so now you're saying it's nice to meet you. Aangename kennis. It's a simple conversation going on here, so it's very important to know all these little phrases.
Hoe gaan dit met jou? Hoe gaan dit met jou? How are you?
Hoe gaan dit met jou? How are you? So now in the conversation, you're at that part where you've realized that they have a cool name, they seem pretty cool, and you want to know a little bit more about them. So you ask them, hoe gaan dit? And then remember to listen, because people always say this and then don't listen to the response or don't really care about the response. Only ask these things if you care, because it's way nicer that way.
Goed, dankie. En met jou? Goed, dankie. En met jou? I'm fine, thanks. And you?
And then the typical response, or hopefully the response because it's positive, goed, dankie. En met jou? Goed, dankie. En met jou? I'm fine, thanks. And you? So that obviously follows the previous one, answering how you are doing and then asking back to the person because that's only polite. You don't want to be like, yeah, I'm fine, thanks, bye. You want to be polite, ask them how they're doing back if they asked it first. Otherwise, maybe don't say it if you asked it first, because then it's just like a continuous cycle that's never ending.
Asseblief. Asseblief. Please.
Asseblief. Please. Very popular in South Africa because we're all very polite people here. But please remember, see, I said it there again. Please remember to be polite when you're asking for something or commenting on something that requires a please. No, it'll be a question. So be polite, remember your manners, and say asseblief if you are looking for something.
Dankie. Dankie. Thank you.
Dankie. Thank you. So there we go again with the politeness. Be very kind and warm when someone tells you something or compliments you or gives you an answer to that asseblief question that you just asked. Say thanks, say dankie. And if you can't remember the word, think of a donkey. That's how I always used to tell people. And then just change the sound a little bit because you can't say donkey, you must say dankie.
Jy is welkom. Jy is welkom. You're welcome.
Jy is welkom. You're welcome. So that's the response if someone said dankie to you, you're obviously going to say you're welcome, jy is welkom, because it wasn't such a schlep for you to tell them what they wanted and you don't mind telling them, so jy is welkom.
Ja. Ja. Yes.
Ja. Yes. Pretty straightforward. Yes. Positive response to something, so pretty easy.
Nee. Nee. No.
Nee. No. Also pretty straightforward, but try not to use it so much because it's going to be a downer on anyone, unless it's something definitely that needs a no for a response. But ja and nee, pretty easygoing, used quite often, so good ones to remember.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. It's very simple because it's the same as the English and most other languages, just like I said, hello. Okay means, yeah, sure, okay, we'll do this, or okay, I'll have that for lunch, or okay, you make the plans. It's used every day in so many different ways, so it's easy to remember, okay.
Verskoon my. Verskoon my. Excuse me.
Verskoon my. Excuse me. This is a part of that politeness again. If you are leaving the table or you're walking away from something because you don't really like the conversation going on, you just politely say, verskoon my, asseblief as well if you want to be even more nice, even nicer.
Ek is jammer. Ek is jammer. I'm sorry.
Ek is jammer. I'm sorry. So unfortunately this one means you've done something wrong or you've said something that's not so polite. But just be a human being and say sorry if a sorry is needed. And then remember, ek is jammer.
Hoe laat is dit? Hoe laat is dit? What time is it?
Hoe laat is dit? What's the time? This is funny. The translation isn't exactly what's the time, but that's how we say it here in South Africa. You literally say, how late is it? Because you're always late for something, or you're always thinking it's later than it is. So try to remember it that way. We're always late, so that's why we say, hoe laat is dit? Like, how late is it?
Waar is die badkamer? Waar is die badkamer? Where is the restroom?
Waar is die badkamer? Where is the restroom? This one you'll probably use when you're out at the restaurants or at a random friend's house that you've never been to before and you really need a wee. So you're going to be needing this one. So remember, waar is die badkamer?
Wag 'n bietjie. Wag 'n bietjie. Wait a moment.
Wag 'n bietjie. Wait a moment. you're a little bit busy in a conversation and someone comes and chirps in and all you want to say is just hold on. So if you ever in these situations and you have friends that like to interrupt you, then maybe you should learn wag 'n bietjie. And you could always add asseblief as well if you don't want to sound too rude and like cut offy. You can say wag 'n bietjie, asseblief.
Hoeveel kos dit? Hoeveel kos dit? How much is this?
Hoeveel kost dit? How much is this? Now you're in the shop. So you've been to the restaurants, you've been to friends' house, you've been everywhere, and now you're in the shops and you're seeing this beautiful new thing that you really want to buy. But, you know, you're on holiday, so you can't just be splurging money everywhere. So you're going to have to ask this question quite often. Hoeveel kost dit?
Help. Help. Help.
Help. Help. Luckily, this word, because it has so much going on and it's obviously urgent, is usually the same in most languages, so it's pretty straightforward if you know English. Help, it sounds the same in Afrikaans and is used in the same way.
Sien jou later. Sien jou later. See you later.
Sien jou later. See you later. You finish at the restaurant, you're going home, or at the shops or whatever, and you're saying, ciao, I'm going to see you later. Sien jou later. Obviously one to use all the time, comes alongside a goodbye, so remember, sien jou later. And maybe I'll sien jou later in some of the other videos.
Tot ziens. Tot ziens. Goodbye.
Tot ziens. Goodbye. Directly translated, tot ziens means until I see you again, which is quite nice because you're always assuming that a goodbye isn't a bad bye and you will reconnect again at some point. So tot ziens means until next time, but it actually means goodbye.
Ek weet nie. Ek weet nie. I don't know.
Ek weet nie. I don't know. It's okay to not know. We don't all know everything, so this is a good one to know. If someone asks you a question or asks you directions and you don't know because you're just a tourist here, remember to say, ek weet nie. I use this all the time and it irritates my friends, but I'm honest at least, so ek weet nie. So we've reached the end of today's lesson of the top 25 phrases in Afrikaans. I hope they're useful for you because they should be. We use them all the time, and I hope they're simple enough for you to remember. And good luck using them. I hope you meet loads of new people when you come to South Africa or speak to South Africans. And let me know in the comments down below if you have, or if they've helped you, or if you're struggling with any of the pronunciations or something like that. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, and keep learning Afrikaans on afrikaanspod101.com.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.